What you're about to watch is a clip from my BrandLytics training where I get together with entrepreneurs, thought leaders who want to build their brand using YouTube and making data-driven decisions to blow up their brand this year. Enjoy.
Welcome, everybody, to a wonderful session of BrandLytics. My name is Drew Hitchcock, and I am going to be serving you this morning. Today is going to be a fun one because today we're going to be talking about everything that happens off of YouTube. I titled this presentation, Building Your Backend, Turning a Casual Viewer into Raving Fans. And today gets to tap into the 10 or so years of me poking around the internet and spending lots of money on your guys' behalf, as well as giving you some insights into some processes and things that I've seen after working with some pretty big clients, clients of all sizes, both small and large. Right now, I'm currently working with, I think, 15 different channels ranging from in the low hundreds all the way up to million plus mark. So today we're going to be going through building a better lead magnet. I've been in the internet marketing world as well as like playing around on the internet for at least 10 years. This landing page is one of the very first landing pages that I ever opted into. I was going back through, I have a folder on my desktop of all the lead magnets. It's like a lead magnet folder. Like whenever I opt into something that piques my interest that I want to pay attention to, I put it into this folder, and this is one of the first. And right when I graduated from college, I was really interested in just figuring out the money game. And I ended up buying, probably between 10 and 15 different books in the money sphere. And I Will Teach You to Be Rich, Ramit Sethi's book, was one of the first ones that I bought. And I really got into his world just because he spoke a lot to kind of my demographic of like people who were just graduating who didn't want to overcomplicate money. And it was, to me, he just really spoke to me as far as how he positioned things. And to be quite honest, I stumbled upon him as a function of the first ever personal development book was with Tim Ferriss, and he had done an interview specifically with Ramit, and that was kind of how I got into Ramit's world. But this lead magnet was really interesting to me because I think this lead magnet has a lot of characteristics that a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we tend to overlook. A lot of times with lead magnets, we kind of default to, I'm going to build a 40 to 50 page book. I want that to be my lead magnet, something that's a little bit more meaty and tangible. Whereas this lead magnet, I think the beauty of it is its own simplicity. And what I mean by that is it has a very simple promise. By downloading this lead magnet, you're going to save between a few $100s and $1,000 in about a 30-minute phone call, which is like a pretty 30 minutes. I got 30 minutes. I can save in $1,000. That sounds really great. And what was great about this is the PDF was only 1 or 2 pages, and all it was is here's what you're going to do. You're going to call up your internet service provider, and you're going to specifically ask them to talk to a retention specialist. So, i.e., you're thinking about leaving, and you want to talk to somebody who is there specifically to keep you as a customer, and you're going to explain to them that you've been shopping around. You maybe are off of the 1 or 2 year annual discount, and you notice that a competitor is going to give you a better price. And lo and behold, after having a 10, 15-minute conversation, my bill went from $75 a month down to $30. Same internet speed, like nothing changed. I just saved money. And it was one of those really it's like you go through that experience and it's like, wow, I opted in for this thing. I consumed the activity. It only took a few minutes, and I got the result that I was promised. For me, that is kind of what led me to going deeper and really ingraining myself into like everything that was Ramit Sethi at the time. And I've literally been on his list since 2013. At this point, I think I've bought probably 2 or 3 different programs from him. I believe that a lot of times we overcomplicate what a lead magnet is. And I wanted to kind of boil down lead magnets into a very simplistic framework. So the first thing that needs to happen for a lead magnet is we need to make it easy to consume. At the end of the day, we all have the same 24 hours in the day. But what we need to do is we need to figure out how can we make this as consumable as possible so that when somebody opts in, they can quickly go through the material and really understand what it is, what the result that we're trying to give them, and ultimately help them get that as quickly as possible. If you think about like the customer journey of an individual coming through your business, whether you're talking about, whether you're coaching them through a process or ultimately, teaching them how to negotiate better, things like that, you really need to figure out like what is the thing that is going to really get them ingrained in what I have to say, as well as give them that quick win. When we can give them that quick win, it creates that connection of, oh, this person is actually here to help me. And a lot of times it will get people to start asking the question, like, if this is the free stuff that they give, I wonder what the paid stuff looks like. Ultimately, that's our goal, is how can we really get them ingrained in what we have to offer? Because let's be honest, we all want to have impact and make a difference in other people's lives. And I think a lot of times we think that it has to be this big grandiose thing, but sometimes the small wins are actually what makes the biggest impact. So some really easy ways to make things that are very consumable. Obviously, videos are pretty good. I would not recommend doing like full long hour, some people will do a lead magnet as like a webinar, like an hour long webinar. At least for me, when I consume something, I try to consume something in a pretty short period of time. I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to go through an hour long presentation. It's like, give me the highlights. So how do I create a short video or a checklist or something simple that can ultimately get the result that you're looking to give that person? So just a couple of examples of some things that meet this criteria. So specifically, we had Ramit's example of, as a function of that 30-minute phone call, I saved $35 a month, which is $360 a year, or actually it's like $400. Another example that I thought was a really good one was it was a 7-day challenge that Pat Flynn did. He did get your first 100 emails in 7 days. Now, what was interesting about his challenge is he incorporated a lot of different mechanics on the back end. So you opted into the challenge, you got your first welcome email, and the way that it worked is you ultimately got into a Facebook group, and then every day in that Facebook group, he would post an activity for the day, basically. The idea was each activity should take no more than 10 to 15 minutes to complete, and it systematically walked you through, here are the steps you need to take in order to get those first 100 emails. So obviously, like, day one was setting up. It actually wasn't what you would think it was. Most people would say, oh, I need to get them to get an email autoresponder. And he's like, no. Don't worry about the email autoresponder. What you're going to do is you're going to go through your phone and you're going to find 10 people in your phone of who would be interested in the things that you talk about. And you're simply going to send them a text. Hey, I would love to send you an email. I'm forming this newsletter. I just want to add value to people. Send the text. So he gave you a couple of scripts on what you could send out. And like I said, in each and every day, he had a new task similar to that. And his recommendation was, don't overcomplicate it. Don't feel like you need to go get an autoresponder. Just do it with your email. Use your personal email. If you feel bad about sending out your personal email, make sure you BCC everybody and just start your newsletter that way. It's just, how do I get you to take the steps to do the action?
If you want to see this full video as well as train live with me twice a month to blow up your brand, join the BrandLytics training program. There's a link to join right there next to me. Continue to believe. I'll see you there.